Yo, what is it guys, Shinobi here, back again with another video for you guys. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again with some more Honkai Star Rail. And today, I think that we need to talk about Honkai Star Rail and how it needs to go back to its roots. This isn't going to be the most scripted video on the planet. Keep that in mind, people. Just, me talking about the game that I like playing. And I think it needs to go and take a look back at its roots. So, if you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, comment down below. I usually don't do these kind of long videos, but considering how I haven't been playing this game as often as I used to back then, I feel like that there just needs to be a talk about it, especially with the last patch they just released, and I did a reaction to it. But I think it's time for the dev team to they need to take like a step back, in my opinion, and realize what made this game good to begin with, because I think that they're starting to get lazy. I think they're starting to slack on it a little bit more than too much. In fact, actually, there's been a little bit of outrage just from the community in general, and usually the community likes to really overhype certain things. And I think this is also just a pattern with Hoyoverse in general, where they will see the community get mad, and then after that, what will end up happening is they will post a little bit of some hope, be like, hey, we're changing some stuff, at least for Honkai Star Rail. I don't know, Genshin Impact, they're like radio silent 90% of the time. So, but as far as like Honkai Impact, or not Honkai Impact, or HSR, I feel like that they throw out a little bit of some stuff, and then they kind of just accept they just want the community to kind of accept it, and that's just not the way it goes. And I don't know about you, but I remember back when the game first came out, and they had passion for their stories. They had unique ideas. They made the storytelling fun as well as they did with the gameplay, and there was that balance. And Belobog, just the very beginning of the game, Belobog, hell, even the Lofu was just, storytelling was peak. Everything was going good. The characters were involved, and it just felt good. And then we came to Penacony. Now, Penacony, for me, I'm not even done with it yet. But at the same time, I can't even bear to finish it because of how much yapping there is. And not enough mixture of, gameplay and, yapping, as I would say. Or, dialogue, in my opinion. I find myself trying to skip over a lot of this stuff. And then, even then, it takes too long to get through it. Now, I heard that they're trying to fix these stuff. Or they're trying to fix this kind of thing in, 3.1 or 3.0. And that they're also trying to improve the game by increasing the power, or at least updating some of the older characters to where they don't feel as bad to play. And honestly, I'm coping. I'm really coping. But honestly, can we just get Yang Qing's passive to just be active once he uses it, please? Because the thing that he just has problems, bro. He has problems, and I feel like he needs to have those problems fixed, because he feels pretty bad right now. And then Blade also, he got power crept on release. Let's all be real here. He got power crept on release, so there was that, Jinglu just had him basically cooked, though he had his own unique playstyle. But either way, back to the story aspect of the game / gameplay. I feel like they need to replace, they need to return back to when they needed to sit down. And I know I'm trying to keep this short. I don't want to make this too long, but at the same time, I got a lot to say. It's like they need to go back. They need to look back at 1.0, and they need to go from Belobog all the way to the Lofu, look at it, and be like, okay, what did we do well here that we need to do now? Because that's the problem that they're having at this moment, and it's killing the game. There's a lot of people, me personally, I don't think it's to the point where it's getting like Genshin, but it's getting there. And I don't want it to get there, because Genshin's in a really bad state right now, where at the moment it's just not looking good. And as you guys can tell on my screen right now, I have a lot of stuff to do, but that's also because I've been gone for 9 months. I stopped playing for 9 months or so because I had work to do overseas, military, all that stuff, all that jazz. But even then, I can't find myself trying to get into the story, even trying to complete it, because A, it feels like it's overwhelming, and B, because it's just I don't know what they did, but it's just it doesn't feel like the way that I was excited for the Belobog story, where I wanted to get into the lore. I wanted to just get in there, see what they had going, or even the Lofu, trying to figure out the backstory between Blade, Kafka, And you had you had all the eons also even playing a role. Like, I don't see that happening anymore. Like, what happened to that? Like, what happened to that? Like, that was like the main thing, is like we wanted to see what would happen next, and I thought Pinnacle would be that next thing. Now granted, Pinnacle's decent, but it's not what I thought it would be. And once again, I'm having a hard time getting through the story because of all the yapping and not enough like mixture of what they had before, where it's like, okay, you had the talking section and then it was straight into the action. They told you what it needed to be told, whether it be lore wise or whatever like that, or whatever had to do with the story, and then they just kept it going. Versus with Pinnacle and just 3.0 in general, it just feels like it's just a lot of dialogue, not enough. It's like we play the game to, like, in a nutshell, we play the game to be a game. Let's just get that out of the way right now. We play the game to be a game. The story is like an add-on. The story is what keeps people coming back, because it's like, okay, we want to play the game to get more characters, or invested in the story, all that. But when the story just feels like a pain to get through, and there's not like, and then the gameplay, it just suffers. It just suffers because of that. Because then at that point, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, once again, I haven't gone through Pinnacle. I have no problem summoning for the characters and whatnot, but even then, it's getting to a point where it's like, even just trying to summon for characters these days even feels like it's pretty bad. And I know it sounds pretty negative right now, but once again, this whole video is about them needing to return back to what they were doing before. Because the reason why it's suffering right now is because for some reason, I don't know why, and I heard something, it might have something to do with the writing team. I heard something about Honkai Impact 3rd's writing director, or whoever the guy was who was doing that story, join, and I think there's a reason why the story has changed so much, and apparently he's not that good. I've heard a lot of things. I've heard that he's not good, and I've heard that he's the greatest writer on planet Earth, and I don't know. For me, Honkai Impact 3rd, I had a good time with it. The story was alright, but it was not the greatest of all time. In fact, I don't think I even completed it. I did some things, I played the game, I enjoyed it while it lasts, and I heard that it's still doing alright for some people who are playing it, which, whatever, but for me, I don't know. That might be why the story is suffering a little bit. Maybe they need to get a new guy or bring back the old person that was doing stories, because I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel right. And I know games have to change, and I know that, obviously things got to improve, but this isn't an improvement. This is getting worse. And it's getting to the point where now even, the story is suffering, the gameplay is suffering because of it, the content is suffering. 3.1, as far as what we saw and what they released, it's just like we got basically another version of Blade. We got a supporter character who looks pretty interesting, but me personally, I don't think I'm gonna summon for him. I might not. I'm probably trying to save everything for the Fate collab. And then other than that, we got some mini games, and that's it. A lot of that 3.1 live stream was just yapping. Now, obviously, if you saw the title of that live stream, when I reacted to it, I told myself that I need to catch up. But even then, I'm just like, every time I think about trying to catch up in this game, it's like, damn, man. And then I just hop on Withering Waves, and then, I've been enjoying the story there. They've been doing really good. I don't know what it is. It's just like the beginnings of games where they do so well, and then as the time goes on, they kind of get cooked a little bit. Well, Withering Waves had the opposite problem, where 1.0 was having a little bit of issue. I don't know. I enjoyed 1.0's story. Not like, it's not the greatest on the planet, but for me, I enjoyed it. It wasn't the worst thing for me, but that's just me. Maybe I'm just weird. But I digress. Honestly, me personally, because I've been yapping about this, I feel like the only way that they're gonna fix this game right now, in the way, in the state that it's in, is to go back to their roots, which is the title of this video if you couldn't, tell. They need to go back to 1.0. Hell, I would say all the Belobog story, all of the Lofu story, they need to go back to that. Back when players were excited to get into the game. Back when players were excited to not only play the game, but get invested in the story and the lore behind all this stuff that they had in there. Like everything that they've built up. And then they need to add some content that people will be interested in. They need to take community feedback. And most importantly, they just need to not be lazy, because that's the main problem that Genshin has right now, is they are being lazy with their content. They're being really lazy because they know that no matter what, they got a player base, because Genshin's player base is just They hate criticism, bro. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I can't sugarcoat it, bro. They hate criticism. Anytime you try and criticize Genshin, the defenders will come out of nowhere, talk about, don't criticize my $1 million, $billion freaking game franchise company. You know the meme. And it's like, bro, it's because these games are making that kind of money that they have no excuse to be doing what they're doing right now. And once again, Honkai Star Rail was like the savior for a second. That was the reason that, Genshin could never was even trending the way that it was, is because they were doing all the stuff that people wanted from Genshin. And Withering Waves is also doing the same thing, with the echo loadouts and all that. And, for a minute, it looked like we was going to be going on a good streak, but now it seems like they're falling into the same pit trap that, Genshin's falling into, You got a lot of people, where they weren't criticizing the game, causing us to be in the state that we're in right now. And now that people are criticizing the game, it's like they're trying to do things, but at the same time, it feels like they're just being lazy with it. And that needs to stop, because if this game's going to have a lasting impression, or if it's going to have a lasting, cycle, which maybe it will, maybe it won't after this, it all depends on what they do. They need to, if they want the hype that they had back then, because nobody really even talked about 3.0, or even before then, like it was just dying off. It's like they want the hype that they had when this game first dropped, because there should be no reason it doesn't have that, because it's a really good game in my opinion. I want it to be better, which is why we gotta criticize the games in the first place. We gotta keep these corporations accountable, because if we don't, they're just gonna keep doing what they're doing, and then we're gonna get a Genshin Impact situation. But it's like they gotta return to the roots, bro. They gotta return to what made the game good in the first place. They need to look back and be like, if we want this game to be good, if we want people to be hype about our game again, because you got competitors. If we want people playing our game, we want people giving us money, because let's be real, that's the only thing that they care about at the end of the day is money. And the moment you stop spending money in the game is the moment that they actually start changing stuff. If they want our money, if they want our time, because we are investing time, and time, in my opinion, is the most valuable currency on earth, because you can't get that back. If they want our time, if they want our money, they need to do better. They need to do better. And I just feel like right now they're not cooking right now. Now obviously, it isn't the worst. They're not too far gone. I feel like that right now they're in the middle of a point where this is make or break, where they have an opportunity to fix the mistakes that they made. They have an opportunity to bring the game back to the former glory that it had. But if they don't, then it's for me, I have no problem moving on from games and moving on to new ones. I'm always looking for something new to play. You already see my channel. I play all sorts of games. Bleach, obviously being one of my favorite series. I have Naruto. I have the Mugen series. I have Withering Waves. I have Zelda Zone Zero, which I just got into. And I feel like that game so far has been doing good with its content, at least for me. But I just started, so I gotta get deeper into the game. But, I have no problem moving on from games. I have Epic 7, I have a bunch of games to play. So it's like, if they want not only me but you guys to keep playing these games, if you guys agree with this video, they got to do better. They got to do better, and they need, in my opinion, they need to return to what made the games good. They need to return to what made HSR the game to play, because that's exactly what it was back then. If you wanted to get recommended a gacha, especially after Genshin went bad, HSR was the game. It had the quality of life. The devs listened. The story and the gameplay mashed well together. It obviously has a power creep problem, but that's just gachas in general, which is why you need to invest in supports. Me personally, that's what I would do if I was a person getting into gacha for the first time. I would invest in supports. But then again, I've been playing gacha games for a while, so that's just me. I've learned from my experiences. But I digress, man. I don't know. This isn't the most scripted video on the planet, and I just want to talk about how I feel about the game right now. And I feel like right now, for me, at least with Honkai Star Rail, is I don't mind playing the game every once in a while, but I don't have that feeling. I don't have that drive, that I had to play the game. And you think I would, because I've been gone for 9 months. I've been overseas, military, and I haven't been able to play the game as much. So you would think, I would want to get back into this game and go crazy with it. And I don't have a problem with playing it. In fact, I'm probably going to end up live streaming this game, honestly, and just trying to get through Pinnacle and talking to my chat, just have something to do. But if they really, really want, me or the rest of y'all to get really interested in this game again, they need to do better. And me personally, I feel like they need to return what made it good. They need to get the Bellabog story writer back if that's what's killing it. And they need to start listening to player feedback. They need to stop being lazy. They need to actually, do what they were doing before and listen to their player base. But I don't know. That's just me. I feel like there's a lot more that I could probably throw into it, but me personally, I feel like that the only thing that they could do at this point, if they really, really, really care about this game and they really want to get it back to the way that it was before, is that they need to go ahead and return to the roots, bro. They need to return to the way things were back when they cared, back when they were trying to make a game, back when they were trying to prove themselves that they were better. Because that's the reason probably why they did what they did, and even probably that's the reason they did do what they did. It's because they wanted to prove that they were the best. That this was the game to play. That over every gacha game out there, why should I play Honkai Star Rail? And they had that, but right now they don't, and they need to return to that. Because I really don't want to see this game go. It's fun. It's something I can put on the side. And the story was entertaining at one point. I was actually getting into the lore, and I don't know about you, but I'm really big into lore. It's the reason I got into Genshin. I still wish that they would do better, because honestly, I want to see how the whole Conria thing goes down. But at the moment, it's just like I'm out of it, It's just not there. And, I will still play the game every once in a while, but it's just not going to be one of those games where I'm going to be making a lot of content on it unless I just really want to, or unless I find something that's interesting. And right now, for me, there ain't really much interesting for me to talk about for this game right now. They need to fix that. They need to make this game fun again. And at the end of the day, that should be the goal of every developer, every creator of a game, is that you need to make the game fun. Because that's the reason we're playing in the first place. We're here to escape into another world, and we're here to have fun. To, take our mind and put it at ease for a little while. Stop thinking about all the stress of the real world and just, enjoy. That should be the point. It's like going into a movie theater. When I walk into that movie theater, I should be able to forget about the outside world, even if it's for that 1 to 2 hours. I should be able to just sit down and just chill and not have to think about anything as far as, the outside world and all the stress and all that. It should be fun for me. And right now, Honkai Star Rail, well, it's not to the point where it's unfun completely. Like, I still enjoy messing around with it here and there. It's to the point where it's like I can't justify saying that, it's doing well right now. And I feel like a lot of people need to get on board with that, not with just my opinion, but just like criticizing the game in general. And this goes for any game. I'm going to end it off with this, but because I've been yapping for like a minute now, it's been 27 minutes. It's almost been 20 minutes at this point, but it doesn't matter what corporation it is. You need to hold them accountable. You need to criticize them, especially with the money that they're making. They are taking millions upon billions of dollars from you guys because you're paying for a service. And if they're not delivering, that is not good. If they're not delivering on that service, that is not good. And you need to criticize that. Because if you don't, they will continue to do the same thing over and over again. And unfortunately, that's what kills games. But without further ado, that's pretty much going to be it. Let me know if you guys agree. I just wanted to yap for a minute, talk about my experience with Honkai Star Rail, because I feel like that this game can be great, and it should be great. There should be no reason it's in the situation that it's in right now. But without further ado, Shikai Shinobi sign off. Let me know all your thoughts, your comments. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I'm all down to listen to other opinions outside of mine, especially since I've been gone for a while. But I feel like that the way the game is, with me taking that 9-month break, the way that the game is right now, I think that 9-month break was needed. Because I'm going to be real with you when I say that this game definitely needs to improve. It needs to do better. There's a lot of things to fix. The dialogue options, the animations, especially when it comes to talking to other characters and whatnot. It just needs to be fixed. And we'll see if they do it. We'll see if they don't. If they don't, I have other games to play. I really hope they do, though, because I don't want to give up I don't want to give up on this game, man. I don't want to give up on this game, especially since this is a game I put a lot of time into. And even though I don't make a lot of content on it, I do support the steps. I do support. I watch their videos. I watch other content creators' videos, when it comes to this game. So, we'll see what they do. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. If you didn't, leave a dislike. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, all that stuff. But this is going to be Shikai Shinobi sign off. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.